coming at you live from the 918, where grown men get it on with grown women and the little boys sit around and watch what's going on. This is the LFA show. It's Friday night and it's time to get off. So queens, crank your king's knob, the volume knob that is, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The LFA show. And now, introducing your host, LFA. Boom, baby. We are live once again for another Friday night. And as you can see, I am fucking glowing. Guys, it's been a full year. Well, it will be at midnight where I'm living since we started these live streams. And some of you are already beyond midnight. So it is a full year in. So I want to thank you all for showing up as many times as you have. You know, it's been a lot of fun. Most people aren't out there actually communicating with their subscribers on a regular basis and allowing them to call in and have conversations without some sort of a paid membership. So I thought it would be a good idea. I thought it'd be something cool to do, and I'm having fun doing it. So thank you guys for everything that you do. Anyways, in tonight's video, I wanted to talk about, what is the title of this video anyways? Hell, I don't even fucking remember. Women do not want you to know how much they actually want you. A lot of guys go through these struggles with women and they don't fully understand. If a woman's with you, she wants to be with you. Like, she might play games with you and it might seem like you're constantly chasing, like she's hard to get or something like that. But she wants you more than she's going to let you know. Women are terrified of rejection. As a matter of fact, the majority of women out there, I'd say a good 50% of women out there, will pull back as soon as they get feelings for you. They will pull back and you'll be absolutely confused. You'll say, what the fuck happened? You'll say, we had such an amazing connection. You know, it seemed like we had something special, and she pulls away. This doesn't mean that she doesn't want you. You know, because a lot of you guys call in, or a lot of you guys send emails, you have questions. Why would a woman just leave you high and dry? This doesn't mean that she doesn't want you. This means that she is getting vulnerable. This means that as soon as she lets her guard down, you have the ability to completely control her. And she doesn't want to give you that ability because maybe people have abused it in the past or something like that. But the majority of women out there, they want a boyfriend. And if you're getting signs from a woman, or you think a woman wants you, it's almost a 90% chance that she does want you. You know, women are very obvious with signs, or at giving signs when they want to get a man's attention. But they do pull away because they don't want to show all of their cards. Like, they don't want to immediately hand all of that power over to you. You know, they're terrified. And there's a lot of times when women will play hot and cold games. And there's a lot of dudes that play hot and cold games as well. As a matter of fact, if you have a dating coach in the manosphere that you're paying for advice, you probably play hot and cold games. You probably have some sort of a system in place that makes you a mystery, you know, that makes you somebody that's unpredictable to women. So maybe you show a woman some attention and then you pull away, and, you know, you don't show her how much you really care about her. What you're actually doing here is you're constantly moving around. You're scrambling around because you know for a fact, and your dating coach knows because he goes through it too, that if he stands still long enough, then the person that he's pursuing, the person that he wants to be with, will find out who he really is, and she'll leave. And vice versa. Women think that will happen when they get too close to a guy. So women don't want you to know how bad they really want you. But if she's sticking around, if she's giving you signs, it's pretty obvious that she does want you. Now we can get into that topic and we can have some people call in and we can do some dating advice. But first things first, let's see who we have in the chat. We've got RYO. He says, congratulations, 1 year live, bro. We've got Marlon White in the house. He says, happy 1 year anniversary. We've got Cheshire in the house. We've got Scarlet Bear, RVW repealed, y'all. That is pretty crazy news, you know. I don't know. I don't get too much involved into politics, but we all know where my political views lie. And, you know, I think if you are man enough to make a baby, then you should definitely be man enough to raise that child. Of course, the Constitution, it's no longer a constitutional right, I should say, but that doesn't mean, because, you know, I know what the argument is by most people on, you know, the far left. The argument is, well, what if a woman is assaulted? You know, a grape is thrown in a food fight, we could say. What should she do? You know, a man that she has no desire to be with impregnates her and against her will. Well, that's why they're saying it's not a constitutional right for anybody who wants to get one to walk in and get one. But somebody under that circumstance is still going to have the right. If you're a woman who's has a rare condition where a pregnancy or giving birth could cause you to die, then I'm sure they'll let you pass. But if you're just some regular couple that gets pregnant and the chick decides, you know, maybe we shouldn't have this, you know, then maybe you won't be able to do it anymore. But we'll see how it goes. You know, these things flip flop. Just when you think it's going this way, it switches over and goes that way. So, you know, whatever. We got Black Savant in the house. He says, salute LFA. We've got Parker Williams. How's it going? We've got Marcator 1993. We got Jason Tyke. We've got Adriana Flowers. We've got Vagabond. We've got Red Pills Are Good. We've got, I think that's all of them so far. We're waiting on more people to arrive, but we are having fun here. You know what? Let me actually post this on my other channel so we can get some people in the hizzy. He's a for she's a. Sorry, I was just watching fucking Eminem and Snoop Dogg song. Watching all of my favorite reaction channels react to it. All right, let's see here. Let's share this on my main channel so everybody knows that we're live. There we go. Boom, we're in. More people should arrive now. All right. Brett Overman in the house. Good to have you here, sir. Always nice to see you around. Now, as people are starting to arrive, you know, I have been talking about semen retention quite often recently because I started it. I gave it a fucking try in like the middle of April. And immediately, so I didn't start talking about it on YouTube until like fucking June. But immediately when I started retaining, like a weekend, my video views went up like by ×5. I don't know. You know, I was feeling better, starting to glow. You know, like, look at that. Look at that. I glow. And, you know, it seemed to work. So I said, fuck it. You know, let's just start talking about it. Let's be honest. And with that being said, there was somebody who had some bad things to say about retention. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Now, these are some creators that I absolutely enjoy watching. I think they're pretty awesome, but they think differently about what I think. So let's see what they had to say. Boom! Who is it? It's Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Sterling Cooper, and Jay Waller. Now, as we get into this, I want to start by saying that I do think that Andrew Tate is the embodiment of what I want all of you to become one day. He is a bad motherfucker. He is a world champion kickboxer. He is a multimillionaire. he can make beautiful women, multiple beautiful women at the same time submit to him and live in his house and take care of him. He's that dude. And when it comes to being a content creator, he's charismatic, he's cool, he's an interesting guy. He's on the left side, all the way on the left. Now, all the way on the right, we've got his brother, Tristan. We don't know too much about Tristan, but what we do know about him is he's the brother of Andrew Tate, and he can probably kick your ass. Seems like an all right guy to me. The guy on the middle left is Jay Waller. I don't know anything about this guy. He started showing up on my suggested videos, and I've clicked on a few videos, and it's kind of like, I would almost put him in the category of like a freaking, like a Brett Maverick or somebody who doesn't really have useful information for anybody. It's kind of, he's really going for that mainstream appeal. I'm not sure if he has the charisma to match the male model look that he has, but he'll probably get better with time as a content creator. But at this point, you know, I just don't know much about him. Don't have anything bad to say about him. I just don't know much about him. And the guy on the middle right is Sterling Cooper. He is a former porn star. He may still be a porn star. I'm not totally sure. I've never seen any of his work. I'm not a porn addict. I have no interest in watching porn. I like beautiful women in front of me, and I don't like to watch them on a computer screen. I don't want to waste these nuts on a computer screen, so I don't watch porn. Now, I would have to say that I don't know Sterling Cooper as a man. He might be a hell of a guy. But I think for myself, I think it would be a terrible decision to be a porn star because there's no coming back from that. You are a porn star for life, and everybody's going to kind of think you're a loser. Anyways, let's get on to watching this here video. Now, I'm going to try to mute my mic when I play this, so hopefully it doesn't echo. So let me know if it sounds okay.
Semen retention a real thing? Because in my opinion, it's just a rebranded, it's just a rebranding of can't get laid. So, because I can't retain semen. I can't, because I mean, I quit jerking off 8 years ago. I don't consume adult entertainment. No offense. But I can't do semen retention. There's too many beautiful women who want my time and want my attention. Is it a real thing? Does it
Okay. So with what Tristan Tate said there, he said that he believes semen retention is just a rebranded version of dudes who can't get laid. So dudes who are getting a lot of pussy, who are getting so much pussy that they are distracting themselves from their own productivity, who decide or who come across this semen retention thing, who people like Mike Tyson have done, Muhammad Ali have done, Elon Musk has done. You know, some of the most brilliant athletes, most brilliant entrepreneurs, businessmen, most intelligent people in the world have tried it. So for somebody that gets pussy at will to say, you know what, I'm going to give this stuff a try and see what happens. You know, that's just, the statement just doesn't make any sense really, but I understand where he's coming from because there probably are a lot of dudes just like MGTOW. There's a lot of people in all of these areas who actually can't get women and can't get pussy. And they brand themselves as NoFap or MGTOW, right? There are a lot of those there. So I understand that. But that's still not a valid point because you can be a guy that's swimming in pussy that decides to retain semen for the benefits. Now, in terms of the other thing that he said, there are too many beautiful women that want his time. So he is not able to retain because, you know, too many women want to have sex with him. So my rebuttal to that would be, you can't reject a woman. You know, it's kind of like John Anthony lifestyle, bragging about sleeping with 1,500 women. It's like, dude, it's not hard to sleep with 1,500 women. If you could sleep with one, you could sleep with 1,500. It's the same exact thing. What's difficult is picking the right women and rejecting the wrong women. What most guys do, they live in this world where anytime they have an opportunity to hook up with a woman, they take it because they're not sure if they're ever going to get another one. It's this thirsty beta mindset. And Tristan Tate is far from a thirsty beta. He has beautiful women around him all the time. He's a multimillionaire. He's handsome. He's 6'4". He's got it going on. So he should have no problem rejecting women. He's probably been doing it for many, many years. So I'm not sure where he's coming from there. Like anytime a woman says, hey, I need to have sex, does he just drop what he's doing and go have sex with her? You know, is he submissive? Because that would be a submissive behavior. You know, I bumped into a girl at Target a Wednesday night. A chick that I hooked up with in 2020. One that was very, very, it was a good time. I'll put it like that. A fucking amazing time. And I walked past her and we just kind of smiled at each other and said hi and kept walking. And I was like, fuck, you know, why'd I have to bump into her? And that happens when you're retaining. You're going to bump into people. It's just going to happen. Like people that you haven't seen in 2 years, you're going to bump into them. And instantly I'm like, shit. I'm like, I don't think we text each other. I've got her on Snapchat and I only use Snapchat because I'm using it to talk with one person. That's it. But I still have like hundreds of thousands of people on there that message me. So I go on there and I'm like, I know this girl's going to message me. Instantly, she messages me as soon as she gets home, taking pictures in a bathing suit from the front and then taking pictures in a bathing suit from the back. This bathing suit makes my ass look great. Now, she posted it on her timeline for everybody to see, but I know 100% for a fact the picture was for me. Now, this was a test for me. I know I can go over there and smash. You know, eventually she did message me. After I looked at it, she messaged me. And I had to make a conscious decision, make a choice to not go over there and fuck her. And it was a difficult choice to make, but I made it. And it was some good pussy, I might add. So semen retention is not about not being able to get pussy. It's not about fucking any woman that throws herself at you. It's about having the discipline to not do that. Now, sure, the biggest part of retention is not jacking off to internet porn, because most guys jack off to internet porn a lot more than they have sex. I'm not a person I don't talk no fap because I don't have a fapping problem. I grew up with a lot of people around me, and most of the time I didn't have privacy to fap. So, and we had so many people around, the hot water only lasted like fucking maybe a couple minutes in the shower because other people were already using it. So my showers were quick. I couldn't even do it there. You know, it's just the way life was for me. So I never had a fapping problem, but semen retention is about turning down women, having the discipline to reject women. All right, so let's keep going.
Industry, do people do this shit? Tell me.
Look, like not jerking off is a thing,
Yes.
right? If you've got a beautiful woman around you, you should be ejaculating onto her face, or she should be retaining your semen,
Okay.
right?
Okay, so Sterling Cooper made a good point. I agree with that. So if you have a girlfriend or a wife and you are making a conscious decision to bust a nut in her because you accept the outcome of what may happen, then sure, by all means, she should be retaining your semen. That's a brilliant idea. Yeah, who would have thought of that? Fucking exhilarating, fucking amazing idea. Mind blowing. I agree with him there.
Good point.
If you're
Touche.
no, but think about it this way. Think about it this way. Like, do you think Genghis Khan practiced semen retention?
He was the biggest badass of all time.
He was running around pumping loads into every girl.
Test level 1 billion.
Right. So,
parts
like, if he can conquer half the, you think Alexander the Great was semen retaining?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I don't think he was.
well,
He wasn't jerking off all the time.
His
He was having sex
his
instead.
boyfriends were though.
You know what my argue to that is? I've never met a guy.
Okay, I don't think Justin Waller's going to say anything good, but we're going to interrupt this really quick. So, Genghis Khan and fucking Ponce de Leon, whoever the fuck he said. So, world leaders like who have conquered and, dominated the world. Were they semen retaining? They had a lot of sex with a lot of women, put it like that. But I guarantee you they were retaining. 100% guarantee you Genghis Khan was not jacking off. Genghis Khan had his mind on business constantly, on war, on running his empire. And maybe once or twice a week, he would fuck a new woman. And he did this for like 20 years straight, 25 years straight. But he's still retaining for several days at a time before he fucks a woman. I guarantee you that's what he was doing. He probably wasn't fucking like 3 women a day. It's probably, they're blowing that shit out of proportion. But I don't think that's a valid point. Now let's see what Jay Waller says. I don't think Jay Waller usually has the most bright things to say, but let's hear what he has to say.
Who looked like he could get a woman talk about that bullshit.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's a
Have
good
you ever
point.
have you ever seen a guy talking about semen retention and you were like, man, I bet that dude could get a lot of women though? No, fucking no.
Never.
No. Oh, semen retention so I can look people in the eye. Dude, I'll jack it right now, shake you in the hand. No problem.
Won't
bro.
even wash them off.
Yeah, yeehaw. Like, it's really like it kind of pisses me off a little bit because it's stupid. Like, yeah, of course you shouldn't be sitting in front of the computer, what do they call it, fapping, right?
Yeah.
But that's because it's a waste of fucking time, bro.
Yeah. So like the difference, like the fapping thing.
Okay, so first he tries to make a claim that I've never seen a guy that can actually get pussy practice semen retention. So Mike Tyson can't get pussy. All right, cool. Whatever. To each their own, I suppose. Well, I know I get a lot of pussy. And I found out about semen retention, and I think it works. So I promote it. And there are already thousands of people in my comment sections alone sharing their testimonials about how great it really works for them. So, whatever. So that is just a point that there's no validity to that point. That's just kind of him. It's like he had to say something. Everybody else was talking. And it's like, he's probably the best looking guy at the table. That's the only thing that he has going for him, though, is he's ridiculously good looking. He's like a male model. But does he really have anything intelligent to say? Did he bring anything to the argument? Oh, I've never seen a guy retain semen that can get pussy. Well, you haven't looked far enough. And then he goes on to say, I get it. You shouldn't be fapping in front of a computer screen. Okay, enough said. That's all you had to say. You could have just said, listen, I'm going to make a case for semen retention. You guys shouldn't be fapping in front of a computer screen. But he makes no points against semen retention. It's all, logical fallacies. And then he does make a claim for semen retention. He scores points on the other team here. Like he's not even winning his own argument. He defeated himself. But, that's Mr. Jay Waller right there, I guess.
I think is a good thing to cut out.
Yes.
Because if you're using like porn to like go to sleep, Okay, you're exposing yourself to a ton of blue light. You're probably staying up later than you should, right? It's a lazy way of getting off. But if there's a beautiful woman there, your body responds totally different to this.
Yep. There's a reason they call it the poor man's sleeping pill.
I've never heard of it.
They call it the poor man's sleeping pill. You rub one out before you go to sleep. Yeah, that's why it's poor.
No, I like that. I've never heard that before.
Man, he is not good at leading into a joke, is he? It's like, I think he thought in his head, like, this is going to be a really good one. And then it just like didn't roll out properly. So what all did they say there? You shouldn't be watching porn. It's not a good way to spend your night. Hang on, I got to go back and hear that again.
Right? It's a lazy way of getting off. But if there's a beautiful woman there, your body responds totally different.
Okay, so if there's a beautiful woman there, your body responds totally different, which is exactly what I have told you, and is exactly what most of the other retention guys tell you. There is a major difference between jacking off to internet porn, which stimulates like the perverted, excited part of your brain and gives you that dopamine hit, but it's just different. When you're with a woman, it's predominantly, especially if it's a woman that you care a lot about, being with a woman is more of a it's more of an oxytocin hit and a serotonin hit than it is just a dopamine hit from perverted porn. May August says, Jay Waller is right. If I can get girls, I would not practice no fap. Well, congrats to you, sir. I can't relate. Anyways, let's keep playing this.
Yep. There's a reason they call it the poor man's sleeping pill.
I've never heard of it.
They call it the poor man's sleeping pill. You rub one out before you go to sleep. Yeah, that's why it's poor.
No, I like that. I've never heard that.
I like that.
I like that. But yeah, you nailed it. I think that a lot of people make.
Hang on, before Tate starts talking, because Tate is charismatic. He's cool. He's probably going to say something interesting, honestly. But there, you could tell, he thought he was like nailing a good joke, Jay Waller did. And they're all like waiting, like, okay, is it about to punch? Is it about to hit? It never hits. And then they're like, try to cover for him. You know what I'm saying? Because they're being loyal friends, but really they're like, come on, this guy's pretty lame, honestly. Anyways, let's hear what Tate has to say.
Make up a lot of excuses for the fact that they just lack motivation and fire blood. Like I fucked girls at 10 a.m. and had a world title fight the same day. I fucked girls before fights. I fucked girls the entire training camp. I never went completely without sex. I understand there was some argument for that. I never tried it personally. And people are like, oh, but how did you find motivation? Because I wanted to win. If your mind is so fragile that ejaculating is going to make you not have the will to conquer or to be an important specimen.
Okay, hold on. So let's unpack that. So Andrew Tate got pussy before his fights and he won a world title. That's out of his mouth. We won't challenge that. He's the only one that would know. We'll just go with that. My argument against that would be you would have knocked somebody's entire fucking head off of their shoulders if you would have did semen retention. You would have fucked up so many people. You would have got an invite to the UFC. You would have been fighting. You would have whooped Conor McGregor's ass. You would have been that motherfucker. You could have stepped your game up to a whole nother level. I know you were a world champion kickboxer. You could have been the greatest in the entire world. That's what happens, if you're willing to make these sacrifices. Now, sure, Andrew Tate doesn't need extra motivation to go out and make millions of dollars, to fuck hot chicks, to be a world champion kickboxer. He can probably get drunk 4 or 5 times a week. He can hook up with 3 chicks a day. He can do whatever he wants to do and still accomplish things. He is a rare breed, clearly. There's no argument against that. He's the proof. He's a walking, talking proof of that. You can't challenge it. But he could have been even better. That's all I'm saying.
Men, if you're just going to jerk off and then lay in bed all day, well, then you're a jackass. Your problems are beyond semen retention. They truly are.
Okay, hold on. But then he kind of makes claims. He makes cases for semen retention as well, just like Cooper did. So, yes, if you're somebody that's laying around jacking off all the time, if you're somebody that lacks motivation because you're busting too many nuts, then it will help you. That's basically what he's saying. And yes, that's what we're all saying. The majority of guys out there, probably 80% of men under the age of 30 who are single, are watching porn regularly and jacking off. And out of the 20% of guys that are getting pussy regularly, single guys that are getting pussy regularly, they are also watching porn on days when they're not getting pussy. And they are lacking motivation as well because they're depleted coomers. Now, some people can be depleted coomers and still be productive. But a lot of people are operating at like 25 to 50% of their maximum output. Anyways.
All right. You either want it or you don't. I'll fuck a bitch and jizz and I'll still get up and go to the gym instantly and hit the gym. Like, you either want it or you don't want it. And a lot of people will make up a lot of excuses and a lot of reasons for why they don't feel like they want it. And semen retention just feels like that to me. Oh, if I, maybe this will help me stop being a loser. No, sir. You're a loser because your mentality is loserish.
Okay, so I don't disagree with anything that Tate said, but I don't think he disagrees with semen retention because nobody made an argument against it. Basically, all they were saying was that we still did it while busting nuts regularly. It's like, okay, I did pretty well for myself busting nuts regularly too. But when I found semen retention, I upped myself on every level. And the most important level was psychologically. Like, just, it does literally, when they say like it cures anxiety, depression, anything that you have going on that is causing you to not be at your best mentally, semen retention will help with that. It also helps with you physically. I have gotten a lot stronger and a lot more energetic when I'm retaining. My skin looks better when I'm retaining. There's no question I feel better when I'm retaining. It's just the way that it is. So I don't really see why people are so against it, unless a big part of their program is to sell sex. King E with the $9.99 super chat says, I relapsed last night. I've been on long streaks and off it. When you retain for a long period, you have almost unlimited energy. That's the real benefit. I agree with you 100%. But what I don't agree with is this idea of relapse. There is no such thing as a relapse. So people are always asking me, hey, what's your longest streak? What are the benefits at 60 or 90 days or whatever it may be? Look, the rewiring of your brain is permanent unless you fall back into addiction. So if you are somebody that has been letting off, you've been busting nuts every single day, maybe multiple times a day for some of you guys, from the teenage years all the way up till however old you are now. Maybe you're 20, maybe you're 30, maybe you're 35, whatever. But if you're somebody that has been sleeping around and watching porn and just constantly busting nuts, your brain is not operating at the level that it should. Your dopamine receptors, your serotonin, it could affect a lot of things. It can affect the testosterone. It can affect oxytocin, which is, what causes you to commit and fall in love with women. It can cause these things to be altered. And, there's no telling what degree it alters it to, but it's clear that it causes some issues there. Also can cause anxiety and depression and things like that. So when you've gone 7 to 14 days just with a reboot and you quote unquote relapse, that doesn't mean that you've lost all your progress. Sure, you're on 1 day retention, okay? But you're 14 days in on your journey. And within 2 or 3 days, all of the full reboot is back on track. And if you go let's say you go 30 days and you quote unquote relapse, that doesn't mean you're on day 1 all of a sudden on your journey. Okay, you went 30 fucking days. You've rewired your brain. You're a whole different animal now. It's not going to be the end of the world if you quote unquote relapse, especially if you do it with a woman. That's great. That's excellent. You know, you're going to be right back on track. It's all about making those changes in your life. Porn is free and massively available for a reason. You know, I think porn should be membership only. You should have to enter a credit card to watch porn. Problem solved, right? Then the people who are behind the industry, they'll make more money. The stars of the industry will make more money. And the coomers will be forced to give their money up. You know, so it's kind of a punishment for watching it. You lose money every time you watch it. I think that's a fair trade. That's the way it should go. We've got Teddy waithaka in the house. Counting your days makes you vulnerable for relapse. I agree, sir. And Teddy is the guy who was putting the timestamps under the videos, and he's also started editing videos himself. And if anybody out there, I know there's several people in the LFA community. If anybody wants somebody to reach out to help with editing for shorts and things like that to help your channel grow, reach out to Ted. And you know, he's starting to get his own business going. He wants to get going in that area. So reach out to him. LFA, I listened to all of your videos in a night. Oh, there's not enough time for that. There's like many hours, days worth. All right. May August says, Tate had a point. No fap is cope. It doesn't get you girls. Well, I guess I'll just enjoy these placebo chicks that are all over me when I retain. I'll just keep coping with all of the female attraction. All right. Let's post this shit. John Cream with the $5 super chat says, you helped me change my lifestyle for the better. There are a lot of positive people on YouTube under the propaganda and fake stuff. Yes. But one thing that you'll see a lot of in this space in YouTube that we are a part of is a lot of people are trying to sell you something, and sex definitely sells. So a lot of people out there want to get it through your head that their coaching can help you get more sex. Listen, if you have to pay another man to get more sex, to fuel your sex addiction, you're not a grown adult. You're just not. A grown adult has the self-confidence to approach a woman with who he is, knowing exactly who he is. So this is who I am. This is what I want. And I see a woman that I want. I approach her and I talk to her. If she doesn't like me, I'm man enough to accept that. But I absolutely, under no circumstances, need a strategy or a game plan to get this girl. If she's not attracted to what I am and what I have to offer, as far as I'm concerned, she has failed my shit test and she is no longer on my radar. She's getting dropped for somebody else. That's just the way you have to move. That's the way a grown adult moves. You shouldn't have to, have all of this goofy ass shit. As an adult, you shouldn't be thinking game. Like, I understand if it's like a high school kid, thinking like, okay, I need to learn game to get more girls. I understand as a high school kid, but as an adult, I freaking hate it. Like, it's so easy for me to detect when a woman has game because it is unattractive. It's unauthentic. It just doesn't seem legitimate to me. She doesn't seem genuine. It's like, okay, she's playing games. She has failed. She's failed the shit test. She is no longer attractive to me. And I understand there's a lot of guys out there that are so naive, a woman can play games and they can get taken advantage of by gold diggers or, you know, whatever it may be. They can just get taken advantage of by women. They get their hearts broken because they're stupid enough to fall for these types of games. And, you know, man, when I post this link, it makes me lose my train of thought when people keep coming in here. But that's why I think game is stupid. I mean, I guarantee you, I probably run circles around 90% of dating coaches out there that promote game, and I've never had to use game, ever. I am who I am. I'm my honest self, and a lot of times women like that. So it is what it is. And another reason why I don't need game or use game is because women literally want to fuck me. It's like their birthday and they want me to come over and give them birthday sex. It's like almost sometimes it's like, shit, I got shit to do, man. I got stuff to do. I can't be fucking all these girls. And, you know, that's the relationship that I have with women. It's always friendly. It's women that I get with enjoy my company. Women that I have sex with enjoy the sex we have. Women that I have relationships with tend to bond with me and we connect. So I have no reason to be like, well, shit, if I just had a better strategy, you know, if I just learned game, shit, I should just pay a dating coach. And that's what I try to teach guys is whoever you are, you need to rep that shit, own that shit, and be that shit. If women do not enjoy that, if women don't want to be with that, then you've got to move on. But that's who you are. Because when you use game, all that game does, and I talked about this earlier, is it scrambles things up, right? It's like, okay, I got this game. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it just like this, and it's going to work out for me. Whatever that is, whatever strategy it is you're using. Here's the thing. What happens when she catches you in a moment when you're not using that strategy? Now, you can say, well, there's never going to be a moment when I'm not using that strategy. Okay, cool. Fake your whole life. Fake your whole life. But eventually, when you say, fuck it, no more games, this is who I am. Or let's say something happens, you get a disease or you break your leg or, you know, something happens and you're just not that guy that can run the game anymore. Now you need genuine desire. Now you need something authentic and you want to be authentic, but you look pathetic when you're authentic because you've been playing yourself up as this big time player all along. So you're much better off being genuine, building real meaningful connections and accepting the outcomes. But, you know, we want to promote this, you know, this like high school type ideology. It is what it is. Kingy, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. How are you?
How's it going? Alpha, man. That's what I want to call you, bro. It's cool. Alpha, because, you know, it sounds like alpha.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I just want to say, bro, it's amazing that, like, the more dating coaches that are talking about retention now, it's almost like it's finally becoming a actual, like, it's becoming popular now. And it's a good thing because back when I found this out, it was like 2016, man. Nobody was talking about this, but now everybody is. And the reason why I'm hyped that you're talking about is because now you see that it's real. Like, semen retention is real, bro.
Oh, yeah, 100%. People... You watch the videos of these people. Like I used to watch HTO and, you know, I'm opulent. People love me, you know, and I was like, man, this guy's clowning, isn't he? Like he's got to be trolling.
Nah, definitely not, man. Definitely
I know.
not.
And then I tried it and it was like literally like 7 to 10 days in, it was like, whoa, like the shit he was saying was real. Like he wasn't bullshitting.
Yeah, man. And I just want to say to those, bro, like to anybody that's watching, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have been, so there was one point in my life where I went 3 years of nofap, like literally. So I people don't believe me when I say this, but I actually went 3 years. Like I beat my point, and this with me, when I say no fap, it's more about me beating my pornography addiction, because that's what I always had growing up. So when I was on 3 years of no fap, I'm telling you, bro, the benefits were unreal. And even now, like, I can go 2 weeks, because I just relapsed. When I said I relapsed last night on my Superchat, I relapsed off like a 2-week streak, and I'm only 23 years old. So even if you go 2 weeks, your energy is going to be crazy as a 23-year-old man.
Yeah.
So, and me being on 2 weeks, man, the benefits, I like whatever LFA is telling you, bro, with the benefits, it's real, bro. Like, women are, it's, I don't know what it is. I think it's the energy that you display. It can't be faked.
Yeah.
You know
Well, people connect on different levels. Like, we understand like physical, we understand we can talk to women, but people have certain energies, like it's like a certain vibrancy. Like, you can kind of scan a room and there might be a woman that's a 10 out of 10. And then there's a woman that's a 7 out of 10, but you just have a vibe with that 7.
That 7, exactly. You understand it. That's, I feel like everybody doesn't understand. I feel like everybody wants to have sex in an unnatural way. When sex is supposed to just happen. Does that make sense? Like,
it does. And when you're retaining, it's almost like women see you as the same way you saw that 7. Like, all women see you like that, because the rest of the guys are like on a lower energy, lower vibrancy, but you're up there.
Especially if you're working out. Oh man, your energy is gonna be like, if you're 25, if you're under the age of 25, like, even if you're 25 and older, to be honest, I look at people that's like 50 and up old, but nowadays, you know, the food that we eat and the lives that we live, people, they age quicker.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say, but if you're in your 20s, bro, and you're retaining and working out, bro, I think it's impossible for you to even be an incel or a virgin. I think it's literally impossible. I literally think that it's impossible for you to not have sex. If you're retaining and you're working out in your 20s, bro, it's impossible for you to not get some ass, bro. I think so. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And it's not just women. It's not just woman attraction or whatever. If you're an athlete, or if you're somebody who is like trying to run a business or anything like that, look, if you're an athlete, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you more aggressive.
Yep.
I would even go as far as to say, you know, if you're like a high school athlete, you'll run faster and jump higher. All of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people are born with more energy as well. You got to remember that not everybody's the same. So a no fap, let's say, for example, no fap for you, it's just going to make you more of who you already are, LFA.
Yeah.
So it might not work for a lot of people, because a lot of people aren't born with, they're only born with like a limited amount of energy, but no fap will give you extra energy. It's not going to make you into LeBron James, obviously not, because LeBron James is already, he's probably not retaining, but if he was to retain, he'll be, you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody has different levels of energy. So how do I explain that?
Well, okay. So to replenish, if you're a guy that's busting all the time, like twice a day or whatever, your body has to take resources that it would use for your bones, your teeth, your muscles, your brain. It has to take resources that it would use to replenish all of that stuff to retain your seed, because your seed is the most important source. Like, your body is constantly going to try to rejuvenate that. You know, that's like top priority. Yeah. So when you're retaining, you can use all that energy for all the other stuff. That's what it comes down to. So whether you're a basketball player, a football player, a fucking entrepreneur, whatever it is, it's going to help you perform better at that. And, you know, the brain is probably the biggest thing, because people don't realize that if they're depressed or they have anxiety, they have no idea they have that stuff. They just think it's normal to like get nervous. I think it's normal to get sad all the time, because that's the life they live. They just think it's normal to be like that. And then they start retaining and they're like, whoa, like this is what life is like. Like this is the level I can be on. And that's why they continue retaining. And that's why everybody that tries it agrees with it, you know, and they support it.
Amen. And that's what it's about, bro. People just have to have the discipline to do it, bro. I guarantee, if you're in your 20s and you go 2 weeks, you will never be a coomer again. Just go 2 weeks, bro. Just go 2 weeks. Like, it's not, I mean, I get it. It's hard, like, because pornography is difficult to stop, bro. Look,
Yeah.
I stopped for 3 years, and then I'm back into the addiction to pornography. When I say addiction for me, I'll say like I relapse every week or so. That's like bad for me because I used to be able to go way longer than a week, but now it's just I don't know what's going on. But pornography is an actual addiction. It's like something that you have to go to the root problem of it for you to beat.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, just go 2 weeks, man. I'm telling you, just go 2 weeks. And you'll see what we're talking about. It's 100% real. It's not a placebo. Don't listen to these dating coaches, bro. They're trying to they're trying to scam you. I think most dating coaches they're just trying to scam you.
100%. And you know, there's a lot of guys that think, well, you know, why would you retain with a purpose of being more attractive to women if you're not going to fuck women? And you can fuck women. That's my counter argument to that.
You could.
Yeah, you can fuck every day if you want, but you don't have to bust every day.
But it's not even about busting, because having sex with a female in real life is different from busting to pornography. In fact, the thing with pornography is that it's literally made for you to have an orgasm. Pornography does. So if you was to bust while watching porn, the orgasm, you're gonna release way more because that's what it's made for. It's made to empty you. It's made to drain you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're having sex with a female, it's not. It's different when you busting with a female because serotonin, you know, actual good hormones are being released while having real sex. But pornography is not. It's different. It's, you know, that's
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and typically when you get to the point, so most guys out there aren't just trying to fuck as many bitches as possible. They want a girlfriend. That's like just normal human nature.
Yeah.
And typically when you get to the point where you fuck a woman, you don't need the woman attraction anymore. You pretty much already own her. Like when a woman submits to you and gives her body to you, you know, it's over with. It's a wrap. She belongs to you now. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you lose your fucking streak or whatever. You know, once you get to that point, you've got the girl. Yep. So it worked. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, but seriously, that's all I wanted to say, man. I'm glad that you're doing this. I've watched every single live now, and it's, you know, on my way to work, bro. It's keeping me going longer now. Like I think I went, man. I haven't went 2 weeks in a minute, but I think I went 2 weeks because I've been watching, you know, your podcast. So yeah, you keep doing your thing, bro. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, peace.
Yeah, brother. Thank you.
All right,
bye. All right, first let's look at the chat here. If we have any mods in the chat, who that spammer in there talking about naked HD, no whores, real cheap dates or whatever the fuck, I put them on timeout, but block them if you have a shot. Black Samant, what are your thoughts on dudes? Oh, where'd Teddy go? We had somebody, we were about to bring Ted on, but he left the thing. About to bring a caller on, but he left. Black Savant, what are your thoughts on dudes who are depleted coomers while married? Well, if he's fucking his wife, then that's fine. You know, whatever. He's married and that's the life he's living. But if he is jacking off to internet porn and he's married, that's fucked up. You know, his sex life is probably terrible. You know, let's face it, regular women, they don't look like porn stars. Porn stars only look like porn stars on average for like 1 or 2 years. Or not, 1 or 2 years. 5 to 10 years. Sorry, I was reading a comment and I got distracted. A porn star only looks like a porn star for maybe 5 to 10 years max, if she's extremely lucky and starts at 18 years old. A regular woman probably doesn't look like a porn star ever, probably can't twerk, probably can't do all this, you know, crazy shit that porn stars can do. And after she has a baby or two, she's not, I mean, most of her looks are going to go. But if you're with a woman that you love, you're still going to see her as sexually attractive. And if you're not watching porn and you're not jacking off, you're going to be like, boom, boom, boom. Like anytime, like in order to have a good sex life in a marriage, anytime she's feeling it or you're feeling it, or, you know, the two of you are just having a thing going on, boom, you can get straight after it. Even if she's not the most beautiful woman in the world, because your brain is wired to say, sex is with my wife. Sex is not me jacking off, doing some, you know, fucking bone thugging bone thugging on the download, internet porn. Sex is my wife, even if she's not that good looking anymore. My brain is wired to see her as my sexual pleasure. That's how that should go. If you're jacking off to porn, it's going to deplete you. It's going to make you, your bar of standard to what you're attracted to is going to be big ass, big tits, can twerk, can do amazing shit with a penis, you know, the wildest, most crazy, fit, amazing, thin-waisted, big butt, hourglass figure, perfect suntan, dresses in the hottest panties and bra and all that stuff, best hairstyle, always in makeup, and 21 years old chick in the world. That's going to be your standard because that's what you're looking at every day, and your wife's not going to live up to that. So that's going to cause your sex life to go down. All right, we got to kick these fools out. Okay, just block them. You don't have to report, just block. I don't know where these fools are coming from. It's amazing with what we're talking about that these things would come on here. I bet you it's somebody that it's probably like a dating coach that doesn't like me coming on here with that shit. Where did Teddy is not in the chat. All right, there he is. Teddy, what's up, brother?
Oh, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I started to the lifestyle, man. So when it comes to the whole retention stuff at the gaming coaches, the game coaches, I've never understood. I don't understood the concept, man, because they tell people not to put women on pedestals, but then at the same time, they're trying to teach you how to get girls and all that stuff. Like I've never really understood that whole thing. To pay $1,000 to learn how to talk to girls, that's a shit ton of money.
Right. It's don't put women on a pedestal, but pay me $100 to teach you a system that will help you get more girls. Like, is there a way of putting women on a pedestal more than paying somebody $100 to teach you how to get one? Like,
I mean, the hypocrisy.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. But these guys are so thirsty. Like the average guy out there, he's probably addicted to porn and he just wants a real woman in his life, that he'll do whatever it takes. But he's the epitome of putting the pussy on a pedestal. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. And like and you know, all these things, all like life in general, it's all about perspective. It's literally about perspective, because if you have to go to bed and worry that a girl is not texting you back, then something is definitely wrong. You probably don't have enough things you're doing in your life. You know, you're probably just not living a life. You see, so dating coaches tend to capitalize a lot more on that. When in reality, you get into the self-improvement world, you improve yourself, you do the things that you're supposed to be doing, right? You retain and you do all that stuff, and you're just confident in yourself. You don't have to have all these good pickup lines. All you have to do is just learn how to continue a conversation naturally. Just let the girl talk a lot more about herself.
Right. You know, and the current state of the dating game worldwide, because we are in a global sexual market now where, you know, women can go on dating apps and meet men from all over the world if they want to. It is a little bit more difficult for guys. Like I'll admit that. But the thing about it is, if you're focused on yourself, as you say, you're doing all of these things, you're working out, you have, you know, you're grinding, you're making your money, you're practicing retention and discipline. The only thing you have to do in regards to women is talk to women that you like, go out there, you know, meet them and be yourself. And you're going to meet women that are going to reject you, that aren't going to like you. And that's perfectly fine. Like there's no problem with that. But then you're going to meet women that do like you. This is what compatibility is. So if you're trying to learn game and you're trying to find ways to get women who you are not compatible with to all of a sudden think that they're compatible with you, that's just not a good approach. If you're actually just true to yourself and being yourself, and you're living the best version of yourself, so your style is on point, you're not doing it for a specific woman, but you're just doing it because you're an adult who has good style. You know, you're working out, you're practicing discipline, you're making money, then, you know, that's all you should need. If you have to apply a strategy to make a woman like you, eventually that strategy is going to wear off. You know, eventually you're going to say, okay, I'm not going to use this strategy. And you're going to hold still, and she's going to see who you really are. And she's going to remember that she's not compatible with you. And then it's going to be over. Whereas if you're just being yourself all the way, and this is who you really are, because when you're somebody with the discipline to retain, that's who you are. If you have the discipline to retain, that means you have the discipline to eat real food, not processed McDonald's bullcrap. It means you have the discipline to go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. You have the discipline to grind and make money. You know when to work hard, you can't party all the time. You have discipline to do all this stuff. So that becomes who you are. Now all you have to do is meet women that are congruent with you, and it's going to work out, and like I said, if they're not congruent with you, then you just got to accept that. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, man, I actually agree. Like, it's hard. It's really hard in today's day and age. Like, for like just the average man and all, and just men in general. Like, the dating in today's day and age, it's hard. It really is. I'm gonna agree. And but then at the same time, like you learn way more through rejection, through actually going out there and actually doing the approaches and all. You tend to learn a lot more from adversity than when you're just having it easy. And like dating coaches will tend to prioritize easily. I think the strategy is actually smart. I'm not gonna lie, because they tend to capitalize on the easy stuff. They tend to capitalize on the short term because they realize that's what men want. So the strategy is smart, but then at the same time, paying $1,000 for a course. I mean, You see, if it is on the other hand, if it is like the fitness industry and all, I understand, because that's health that will propel you for the rest of your life, and eventually you'll be healthier and wealthier. You'll be wealthier and be able to look sexy while having the money. But then when it comes to dating, on the other hand, paying $1,000, when you see, thing is, as a man in your 20s, you won't have that much value, as opposed to in your 30s, right? But from your 30s and onwards, life just becomes way better. It becomes way, way better. And you work on yourself, and you go and you actually did something the Tates and Jay Waller on that particular live you reacted to said later on. Whereby if you chase adversity, that will make you way more stronger.
Yeah. Well,
in the long term.
Life gets earlier. Or
how would you pay $1,000 for a dating coach?
Yeah. Well, the people that I think most dating coaches go after, as you said, life gets a lot easier in your 30s. That's because when you are, let's say, 20 years old or 18 years old, the world is a mystery to you. You walk out the door and you're like, what is going on out here? Like, you just don't even know anything about anything. So everything is kind of like, things are intimidating. They're scary. You're confused. You're not sure what you should do. You have no money. You have no experience on anything. And this is how you're viewing the world. So when a dating coach comes along or even a life coach comes along and they're like, hey, so $1,000, I can teach you how to do all of this stuff. Well, the truth of the matter is that coach is probably not as advanced as you will be when you're his age, with or without his help. And the only issue you're going through is you're young and inexperienced. And that's who these people go after. But in reality, they're going to go out there and live life on their own, and they're going to learn all this shit. But what the dating coach says is, I could speed this process up. I could teach you everything I know. So when you're 20 years old, you can know what I know at 35 or whatever. And it just doesn't work like that. You know, life experience has to be something you go through. I can't sit here. I couldn't sit on the back patio behind the house and listen to my uncle tell me all his life stories. And all of a sudden now I know the way the world works. That's not the way it works. I mean, they're cool stories, but it's not helping me. You know, I love the guy to death, but it's not going to help me. And that's basically what a dating coach offers. They share experience, but you still have to go out there and live your own experiences because you're a unique individual. You know, the same reaction that they got might not be the same reaction that you get from the world.
Yeah, because I'm saying game works. Game actually works. It does work, but then at the same time, like especially the PUA game, it just lacks longevity. Like at some point, this is not me like knocking the PUAs, you know, but then it just lacks longevity. You know, like, cause they tend to have this mentality of you're just gonna go and smash multiple girls, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then,
hold on,
but
real
quick.
Sorry to interrupt real quick. What time is it in Kenya right now?
In Kenya, it's 2:51 a.m.
Okay, we got to bring LDU on as well. He's up late. We got.
Yeah, what's up, guys, man? What's up, man? Happy to be here. LFA.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Yeah. How you doing,
Teddy,
brother?
Man, I'm good, bro. Good to see you again, Teddy, bro.
Cheers and you, man. Yeah, so when it comes to the whole longevity with the PUA and all, thing is, if you're gonna go around just smashing, there's absolutely nothing wrong with smashing. But then at the same time, most people we tend to go around smashing because they'd want to find a good woman. So you'll have to go spin plates, as Rolo would say, to get a good girl. But then what a bunch of these PUs would prioritize is just having meaningless sex, but then you don't have any connection. I don't know if you guys agree, but that's just how I see it personally.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, look, it's fun, and I did my thing when I was younger. When I was like 20, I had a lot of meaningless sex, but you know, it comes with a lot of hassle too. I mean, I'm lucky I don't have any STDs or anything like that. You know,
man.
Maybe you get a woman pregnant and it totally changes your life, you know? So you want to, like your dating life, you should be looking for a good woman to lock down. I haven't seen a billionaire who is like a player that's a pickup artist. You know, billionaires tend to find a woman that they can trust. She's a supportive member of his team. He marries her. He gets that part of his life out of the way. And then he focuses on his grind, his purpose. You know, but whatever. LDU, you got anything to say, man?
Yeah, man. Actually, I actually recorded a video pretty similar to what you're talking about right now. Like, about like why exactly dating coaches pretty much hate retention or like no fap and stuff like that. Because, you know, they've basically built a business around teaching guys how to get laid, right? And like you say, exactly like you said, like, oh, let me speed up the process. It's actually exactly what I do with my business, with my fitness business. You know, I like all day I'm just telling guys, yo, you're a skinny dude, you're starting out. Let me help you speed up the process because I've been there. And I basically give them like everything. You know, I give them all the value. And also on my YouTube channel, it's kind of like fundamental information. And then, you know, which funnels into now more information or more value. So it's pretty much the same thing that dating coaches do, except now with dating content, fundamental information, and then funnel into the quote unquote value. But the thing is, they make money off of people who want to learn game, people who want to learn about dating. Like most of the time, they need to have a high notch count. Like let's be real over here, man. Most of the time, all they want to do is just have a high notch count, and that's just about it. And I'll say it's not a must for you to have a high notch count, but that's what they're looking for. So that's essentially what dating coaches capitalize off of. So when you tell a guy, all right, get on no fap, get on retention. All right. Stop jagging off to prawn, stop sleeping with low-level women. Like if you tell people that, like eventually they're going to start prioritizing their purpose a bit more, and then it'll be like less priority placed on women. And so if you're placing less priority on women, you're not, why do you need to pay $1,000 to get a dating coach, right? Do his John Anthony lifestyle, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, it's people always ask these questions like, why are women so attracted to bad boys? Why are women attracted to guys that are like gangsters, drug dealers, like those type of guys, you know, criminals and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, those type of guys do not have time to sit around and jack off to porn. If you're a drug dealer, the last thing on a drug dealer's mind is getting pussy. Sure, women want to be with him because he's a risk taker. He's got money. He's doing these things. But women to him, like he's got to watch who he lets close to him, because a woman might snitch on him. A woman might tell the cops something, or, you know, so he's got to be very picky with the women he lets in his life. And he's just a guy that's on his grind. He's focused on his purpose, and women are naturally a byproduct of that. And a lot of guys are unwilling to realize that, because they're putting the pussy on a pedestal. When you do that, you chase the pussy, and the pussy becomes the priority. And whatever it is that you have going on, you don't have to be a drug dealer. You can be college educated and pursuing a career. But if you're putting that first instead of your sexual urges, then women are going to be a byproduct of that. And at the end of the day, even if a dating coach wants to say, well, I can get you more pussy than your purpose will get you. Okay, fair enough. But your purpose is going to get you a lot more out of life than pussy will. Yep. So which should you be chasing?
Life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And you see, back to the high note count thing. You see, when it comes to just sleeping with multiple girls, that's not necessarily, how do I put it? Let me just rephrase. You see, when the high note count is it's not like when a girl looks at you, it's not the fact that your high note count is going to attract them to you. It's the fact that you're able to pull shorty. Because the literally virgins out there who get lots of female attention.
Yeah.
Who get lots of female attention, and that's what brings more and more females to those people. Because one thing you need to realize, you could be sleeping with women, but then at the same time, you literally have to simp your way to get those women.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Well,
keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, whereas no, it's fine. Whereas the people out there who are virgins, and like, you know, people tend to like laugh at virgins and all that stuff, but the people who are literally virgins by choice. You know, the virgins by choice, the people who get lots of female attention, but then they look at their lives and they're like, you know what? She really doesn't deserve it, man. I have premium strokes. I'm just not gonna unleash it all over the place.
Actually,
so
yeah, man. I actually have a friend like that. Like, so this is with my training partner. Like, this dude is freaking, like, the guy is a virgin, but then he gets the same amount of respect that a dude with a high notch count would get, right? Because and like, he'll be able to pull a shorty, she'll be attractive, she'll be talking to him, touching on him and stuff. And then when you tell him, like, bro, why don't you hit that? He'll look me dead in the eye and tell me, bro, she's not worthy. Like, and he starts explaining, like, bro, why the hell would I break my semen retention for her?
Yeah,
you
see,
know,
that's facts.
Yeah.
So let's put it like this. So if you're a guy that constantly gives women free attention, like you just give women compliments, you're always pursuing them, you're giving them free attention all the time, your attention has less value, right?
Facts, yeah.
So now women don't view you as the guy, as a high value guy, because you're just giving it out to everybody. Your attention means nothing. Well, you know, to all the guys out there, your dick is the same thing as the attention. If you're giving it to every woman, it loses its value. But if you're somebody that only gives it to a woman that is important enough to receive it, because you understand your essence, you know, your seed matters. You know what I'm saying? You can't just give that to everybody. then now your seed has value. Your dick has value. Now women consider themselves lucky to get to have sex with you instead of the other way around. So yeah, that's a good point.
Man, like the thing is, like anybody can bust a nut. Like if the notch count is what is what is being praised, like I've said this, I've sang this shit like a song. Like the thing that's being praised when you have a high notch count is not necessarily the act of having sex, because anybody can bust a nut, bro. Anybody can do it. And if it was the act of having sex, bro, I'll just pay for freaking escorts, man. Right? I'll just pay for escorts. I'll watch porn. I'll watch porn 3 times a day. Like, you know, because anybody can bust a nut. And if it's busting a nut, bro, like I'll watch porn and then go to school and brag about watching porn, bro.
Right.
You know? Or I'll brag about like, oh, yo, I have a high notch count from paying for escorts, man. Like, bro. So yeah, man, like it's not necessarily the act of actually having sex that's being praised. It's more or less like the ability to actually pull these shorties, man. The ability to, you know, now let's say, and like there's nothing wrong with running game, you know, the ability to go and actually like run game, use your social skills and get a shorty to be attracted to you, to be interested and aroused by you. That's all it is, man. If you can get that genuine burning desire, then bro, you're home free, man. It doesn't matter whether you bust a nut or not, man. You know, you can live up to your religious convictions if you want to. If your goal is to bust a nut in that situation, then yeah, so be it. But the point is to be able to attract the girl. Yeah.
Right. I agree with that. Good point. Teddy, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I wish I could push my Don DeMarco button over here, but I can't use my Stream Deck.
I don't have Don DeMarco.
I can give it to you.
I just gotta upload it. I've got the Roadcaster that Myron Gaines uses. I just got to get the the sound effect.
Yeah, I actually have it here.
Yeah, but absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. So let's say you're getting attention right now. There's nothing wrong with absolutely being a virgin. Like, do not let anybody like shame you for having your virginity and all. As long as you're not an incel, right? As long as you're not an incel and you choose to retain your virginity only to deliver the premium strokes to women that are worthy, and that's good. That's absolutely good, you know. And retaining in general, there's a lot of discipline that it teaches you. You tend to feel good about yourself because there's no shame involved. There's no shame. You haven't released and all that stuff. Plus, in a way, when you release, that's a life force. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If masturbation was counted as murder, then we've probably killed like an entire planet just through grooming. Through grooming. So you know that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. So yeah, there's no shame in being a virgin. And actually, there's absolutely no shame. And actually, when it comes to the women's side, it actually benefits them a lot more in retaining their virginity and all. But if you're a dude, you shouldn't be ashamed of being a virgin. If you're a virgin by choice, then yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah, if I met a woman that was physically attractive, she's good looking, and I found out she was a virgin in her 20s, I'd wife her up immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them have been with probably close to triple-digit guys. I mean, that's the way it is in the cities.
Yo, what's this bullshit on the chat about? Oh, I have cheap sex, delete Tinder. What the fuck?
Yeah, I keep deleting these guys. They keep showing up, man. These bots keep showing up. I don't even think they have websites there. I don't think they're even like there's no website. It's just somebody trolling.
Oh Lord. Maybe John Anthony.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
probably so.
John Anthony's pissed, man.
Yeah. I don't want anybody to, if that's a link there, I don't want anybody to click it because it might be like a virus or something. But we're trying to get rid of it. They just keep showing up.
Yeah, man. Oh, if you watch
Yeah.
Prawn, there's a virus on your phone. No cap.
Yeah.
But then again, there's a lot of free information on how to get guns on the internet. So I really don't know like why guys are like paying 1,000 bob. No, not 1,000 bob. The Kenyan in me. 1,000 shillings here in Kenya is $10 in the US, right? So $1,000 is like $100,000 here. So to pay for that, to learn how to get guns, that's school fees, my guy. Literally.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, I think I froze.
All right.
Yeah. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
but then that's just all.
Yeah.
The devil is persistent. I thought that's Scarlett is funny. She's funny, man.
The devil is persistent.
Yeah. It's crazy.
What
They've
they
been.
do, it redirects you to follow it. Yeah, that's what bots do
Yeah.
on YouTube. John Anthony. He seems
Yeah,
to,
but
your guy seems to be going after everyone in the manosphere. What the
I saw that. Like he was going after. I saw a video about MJ Get Right.
yeah,
more
I'm now
plates,
seeing
dates.
that. Yeah, more plates, more dates, bro. Like, what's up with that? Fake
Yeah.
supplements. Nah, that's cap. That has to be cap.
Yeah. Those guys. I mean, I understand. Like, okay, he went after like Brett Maverick and MJ Get Right. Like, I understand. Like, you can challenge somebody's beliefs or what they're saying, but you know, there's basically all he's doing is using it as a strategy. People that have bigger names than him,
It's a funnel.
yeah, he's going after them to try to steal their audience. The thing about
Exactly.
that, though, it's not going to work against somebody that's talking about retention.
That's true.
Because
That's true.
you're not going to see somebody that practices retention flipping over to a dating coach. They're not going to do it. But if somebody that's subscribed to John Anthony Lifestyle finds out about retention, John Anthony Lifestyle just lost a customer.
That's yeah, exactly.
that's
Yeah.
true.
I was thinking about that actually. I was thinking about that a couple of hours ago. Like, yo, if John Anthony, if I'm talking about retention, a John Anthony subscriber comes to my videos and he's just lost an audience. If I were to take NoFap and turn it into my grift, basically make it my business or something, like I would steal his customer and make it my customer. So like that's what he's concerned with. And I think that's why he's been attacking everyone in the manors, including the fresh and fit people. Like he's been attacking everybody left and right. So because these are guys who actually are like kind of like a threat to his business. So he has to get their audience to buy his dating coach services, his services. And in order to get people to buy his services, he has to convince everybody, he has to convince his audience that everybody out there giving PUA advice, everybody out there talking about retention, it's all bull crap. But then I, John Anthony, I'm the one who has the real shit.
Yeah.
And I'll give it to you for $100. And then now when he gives you the real shit, dude, it's pretty much the same thing as what everyone else has been saying.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because it's not about the system; it's about the man using the system.
Yep.
You know, I can tell you every single step I took with the last woman I hooked up with. So exactly what I did. Say, hey, follow this exact blueprint that I did, and she may not fuck him. Like that, there's no guarantee. If she don't like him, she ain't gonna fuck him. You know, and guys,
it's pretty simple.
Yeah. So always the priority should be yourself, you know, hitting the gym, practicing retention, you know, don't worry about like, dressing to impress women, but learn what looks good on you, learn a good style, you know, work on yourself, figure out what works and what doesn't, and just go through life being yourself, you know, carve your own path. You don't have to follow somebody else's system.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, plus actually, like back to what you're saying of in a way using money to punish people for paying for dating sites and all. Here in Kenya, there's a system. So in Kenya, it's way different from the States. So here in Kenya, it's you finish high school, then you go to uni, then once you're financially stable, you move out of your parents' house. I think in the States, it's a way different system from that. I really don't know.
Yeah.
So in Kenya, thing is, you could be this guy. you could be this guy, and this is actually something that has happened to me. So like you're living in your parents' house, right? You getting girls, but you can't bring them over to your parents' house. It's haram. In the African culture, that's haram. You can't do that. So it gets to a point where you literally have to be logical.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty much the same in the United States. I mean, you go to high school, and some people go to college, go to university. You don't need college. You can start a business, or you can find a job that pays really good without college. And women want to settle down with, I mean, it's good to have game. It's good to have a good physique. It's good to be a man that women are attracted to before you have money, but money fucking helps. So, you know, you want to get that shit going. You want to be financially stable, at least enough to take care of a woman and take care of a family, because any woman over the age of like 21, 22, that's what, you know, she wants a man that can at least provide for her. She doesn't want to get pregnant by a man that can't provide for her and the kids.
Yep. Right, he's back.
Yeah.
The thing with money that I see, like it's the place it holds in like in dating and you know, going out and doing your thing, getting your own experience, is that money gets you access. You know, it gets you access to the type of excitement and adventure that, you know, you can have and any shorty would want to be a part of. Right? I like this. Money talks, bullshit walks. Exactly. I know where you got that line too, Marlon White. But yeah, that's essentially it. Money just gets you access to resources, right? Having a nice car, nice house, being able to go and have an adventure. If not with a shorty, not having a shorty with you, you can just be by yourself, you know, go out, like boat ride, whatever. Like, it gives you access to those kinds of resources. And now once you have those kinds of resources, you know, you're a dude, you're posting on social media. You listen to the types of stuff Myron Gaines says on Fresh and Fit. You're posting all that stuff on social media. Shorties will see the crazy experiences you're having, and they'll want to be a part of that. So that's what money does, essentially. Right?
Yeah, 100%. All right.
Yeah, when it comes to
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, so when it comes to the money is important. Money is very important, but then at the same time, also learning social cues and all that stuff is just equally as important as having money. You need to have both of them. And to me personally, I believe in the whole thing of working on yourself and all that stuff, but then don't just like focus on just your fitness and your finances and all. You should, but then also you need to incorporate learning about social skills, learning about social cues, how people think, both males and females. It's important to learn the psychology and all. Because if all you do is just work on your purpose, but then you don't learn about if you don't focus on the other things such as learning social skills and all, you make yourself viable to being finessed. I mean, you can look at Bill Gates. You can look at who's this other guy, man? Amazon guy. Oh, bro. Amazon. What's his name, bro?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Yeah. You know, these people have money. They've worked on themselves and all, but they got finessed. So it is important to learn social skills and work on yourself at the same time. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents in the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people are unhelpable. I don't think Jeff Bezos could ever, you could teach him game, but I just don't think he has it in him. You know, he's a great businessman, but I don't, when it comes to women, that's something he's never going to be good at. And I think he's okay with that. So if he marries a woman and he's worth like $500 billion and she takes 250 billion from him, he's going to make that back in like 3 weeks. He just doesn't care. So he can actually use that as leverage. He can say, I don't care. I will marry a gold digger. What's Dr. Dre and Dr. Dre's newest song? He just got divorced and his wife took like 250 million from him. And first thing he says in the song is, I'm looking for my next gold digger. He doesn't care.
If you actually think about it, don't you think all women are gold? Like all women to some degree are gold diggers.
Yeah, I mean, and if you've got that much money, it doesn't even matter to you anymore. You don't care. Like you can't. There's no way you can spend once you break like just a few $1 million, you can't spend that shit. Like you've got more money, you're gonna die with millions and millions of dollars in the bank. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, like it gets to that point, man. Like it's not a thing anymore. Dude, peace. What's his name? Peace Lemon, Jomo Kenyatta, Mau, right? Yo, he's written the name of our first president.
Oh,
actually, Teddy and I went to the same school, right? The same school that his son went to. One of them elite schools, man, in Nairobi. Richard Dawkins was born in Nairobi. Facts. Anyway, yeah, man. But I think like like if you really think about it, like pretty much most women will be putting you through a hypergamous filter. So if they're putting you through that filter, doesn't that make them, to some degree, a gold digger? It's like, and I keep on talking about these gold digger tests from. There's a YouTube channel called is it UDY Gold? Is it UDY? Yeah, just UDY. It has a guy called Sergio. It's a whole like setup where the dude will set up his girl to be tested, to be put through a gold digger test. So they pretty much test when they want to test a girl, they test her with money. Then when they want to test a guy, they test him with sex. Right? Like that's how you know Sergio knows what he's doing in that stuff. And so when I look at the guy, after the girl fails the test, which it was obvious it was gonna happen, like the guy is so pissed off, like, oh my god, she's such a goldie. And I'm like, dude, you knew that was gonna happen.
right.
Like that's why you put her through the test anyway. Because it's like if you really think about it, most women will be gold diggers to some degree. So yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, I think genuine desire is going to overpower her being a gold digger.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But the genuine desire has to be there. But if she could choose whether the man that she genuinely desires to be with had $1 million or was flat broke, she would choose the $1 million.
Yep.
So, I mean, money is important, obviously.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. We gotta keep it moving. I've got to get on to another caller. I don't have that much time left.
Anyways, I have to sleep anyway, bro. I have church, man.
It's like 3 a.m. Guys, go subscribe to LDU Lifestyle. He's got a good channel over there. He talks about similar content. He's on the other side of the world, but we got similar minds, so I think you would probably enjoy his channel. Go give him a shot and see what you like. Go subscribe to it. So thanks for coming on, LDU.
All right, man.
Okay, and Teddy, what's that?
Yeah.
What? I couldn't hear.
Yeah. Sorry. I was going to say thank you for letting us on. And yeah, so me and actually LDU Lifestyle, we have a podcast called The Alpha Show. So like we have a podcast together. So if you guys are interested, you guys can also go and check that out.
Okay. LD, you got anything else you want to say?
No, not really, man. Yeah, for sure. Check out the Alpha Show podcast. It's a new podcast. We have 81 subs. We actually talked about bullying this morning. Like it was like 8:45 a.m. We talked about bullying and like why why it helps people become, helps men become. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
One of these times, or like occasionally, shoot me a link when you guys are doing it, and maybe I can jump on. I know we're in different time zones, and a lot of times I might
That's a
be busy,
fact.
but I can probably come on sometime if you want me to.
All right. I'll definitely shoot you a link, bro.
Okay.
All right, cool, man. Let
All
me
right,
end
cheers, man. Thanks,
the
LFA.
office.
And afterwards, I'm going to get to work and start adding the timestamps immediately after this show. So, yeah. Y'all will get it in the next couple of 1 hour, 30 minutes.
All right. Hey, you don't have to, man.
No, I'm going to have the timestamps.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, all right. Thanks for calling in. All right.
All right, take care, man.
Later. All right. We've got a few callers in the chat. We don't have too much time left, so we got to keep this thing rolling. All right, Zach, what's up, brother? Can't hear you.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes,
What's
loud
up,
and
bro?
clear.
What's up, bro? So, yeah, you guys were talking about money, with those previous callers, and I think that the way I'm seeing it now is like it's not so much the money that they're attracted to, it's like the things that the money can give you. Like, so maybe,
Yes.
for example, I'm proud because I just got a new job and I'm getting paid now. And now I can actually put a down payment on a car that I've always been wanting. And it's like it's a kind of cool car and it goes kind of fast and it's you can have fun with it. And it's stuff like that I think that the girls like. And it's also the security that you provide too, which is something that I'm realizing now. And the way that I think that they gauge that is if you've got your shit together in other areas, which is where the looks money status comes from. And I think that when you retain, you kind of just like exude that out and it's kind of like on steroids. Whereas if you're not retaining and you're a
Yeah.
depleted coomer, they can kind of tell all that shit. So
Yeah, 100%. When you're retaining, you're abundant. You know, you just have whatever that is, that swagger. It's like Austin Powers mojo. And it holds true not just with women, but your ability to make money, your creativity goes up, just like everything seems to go up when you retain. It just comes with the territory. So it's just a snowball effect.
yeah, I found there was a girl that I was dating sort of recently, and the way that I got her was I went completely off script. So before I met her, I was like a depleted coomer, and I was kind of like a like a nice guy and like, oh, I'll white knight for them and all that bullshit. And then with this chick, I worked with her and I was like, you know what? It hasn't worked up to this point. Fuck it. I'm just going completely off script. And I was with this girl and I would just say whatever the fuck I wanted and I would do whatever the fuck I wanted. And it was hilarious. Like, here's a great example. We were hanging out and we did like a little bonfire thing. We were just talking or whatever. And it was kind of just like chill or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to play a little prank on her. So what I did was I took my empty Monster can and I like put it in the fire and we just keep talking and I'm staring at it. And then all of a sudden it explodes and she flips the fuck out. And I'm like laughing my ass off because it was a fun prank. And you could
Yeah.
tell because she was a pretty girl, no one had ever done that before. No one had
Mhm.
ever like treated her like that. Every guy she talked to was probably a depleted coomer. So
Right.
it's shit like that. Like you can just, like because I was just that way, I just had the confidence to do that all of a sudden and it worked.
Yeah. You had the audacity.
I had the audacity. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah. So yeah, just shit like that. So
Yeah. 100%.
you fucking opened my eyes up to a lot, man. A lot. And I've been doing this retention thing and I'm on like day 47 and 18 hours, I think. And now that I have this mental clarity, actually, this is the last thing I'll say, but you'll appreciate this. You'll think this is kind of funny. I was on YouTube the other day and I was watching, just browsing, and there was a podcast. It was like a 5-minute highlight from a podcast. And these guys, I think it was a gaming channel or something, they had this porn star on their show. I forget who it was. She was older and she had dark hair. She was pretty, I guess, but whatever. And this was like a couple days ago that I saw this. And one of the guys on the panel asks her a question. And when he said it, he had this like, this like tone of just like he was all like flabbergasted or whatever. And she just gives him those like sexy eyes. And she just like leans forward and she rubs her hand up his leg real quick. And she's like, honey, have I been with you virtually? And what immediately popped into my head was a couple like weeks ago, you had a video and you said these porn stars are like demonic forces that are trying to steal your nuts. And that immediately popped into my head. And I was like, oh my God, she's a sex demon. She's a succubus. It was the funniest thing ever.
No, yeah, you'll run into a lot of them, man, especially when you're on retention and you have a woman that is important to you, right? So you've got a woman that's important to you and you're on retention. You're exuding all this energy. You know, you're the high energy alpha, the masculine superhero that all the women want to hook up with. And all of these other women are like, they mean nothing to you, but they're going to steal your nuts because that's their strategy to try to get you. And if they steal your nuts, you're going to fuck things up with your girl. You know what I mean? So you've got this retention thing going on. You've got all this stuff going on. And then you've got the girl that matters to you. And all these other women are just there to fuck everything up. Like they're literally going to fuck all this shit up that you have going on. And most guys are so caught up in this realm of a perverted porno Hollywood version of reality that they think those women are what they should be pursuing. So they prioritize their goals in life to increase the amount of these women they can hook up with. And it's like, whoa, like these women are just a distraction, man. You got to stay away from them. Look at I know professional athletes and rock stars and these guys, they get a lot of pussy, right? They go to all these different cities. They have all these different, different options of groupies. But look at what happens to the dudes that can't keep their dick in their pants. They just have no discipline. The Ben Roethlisbergers, the Kobe Bryants, Mike Tyson, when he decided not to retain anymore. They're all getting these charges. Look at Deshaun Watson going to the massage parlors. And all of a sudden, it's inappropriate stuff he's doing in there. Well, of course, these women are opportunists. They're succubuses. They're trying to steal your nuts. And then look what happens. Look at the results.
Yeah. And to me, it's not just with the like low, I hate the low quality women that do that stuff. It is with the porn too. Like the girl that I was dating that I did the fucking, the funny like bomb prank with. That girl, I'm going to get a little bit personal here. Objectively, she was good for me. She's what the last two callers that were here, what you were describing, like the ideal woman, right? She's that. 100% she was that. She was pretty. She was modest. She wasn't like addicted to social media or anything. She was engaging. She was objectively good for me. And the way that I ended up fucking it up, believe it or not, was I stopped retaining. And when I stopped retaining, I lost that drive, I guess. And I think that she sensed it. Maybe she didn't know it was that exactly, but she knew that something was different and something was off.
You know what? Something that happens there too, because since I've been retaining, it's not been a solid streak that I've just retained the whole time since I found out about it. There's been times when I've coomed. I hate to say it, but it's happened.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that I lose everything, that I lose the whole aura. Okay.
Right.
But if you get it in your head that you have to like maintain this streak, like you're on a 70-day streak, 100-day streak. And it's like, if I lose this streak, then I'm back to being a depleted coomer. It's like, no, you're not. You've made 100 days of progress. Then you screwed up. And now 1 or 2 days later, you're back on your grind and you keep it. But if you allow it to destroy you and defeat you, and you say, I lost all my benefits, and it's on your mind, women are going to see that you look defeated.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah. They don't want to demand a man that's mentally defeated. They want a man that's going to persevere even when he screws up.
Yeah.
So that's how you have to view it. So almost take it as, I screwed up, but I have more motivation to make it now. So like instantly day 1, day 2, you have like more motivation than you ever had in that first 100 days.
Yeah. That's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish I got to this point sooner because I would still have her and she wouldn't have fucking. She hates my guts now. Like, she hates me. Like, that was a whole nother thing. But like, it was, yeah, it was bad.
Wait.
One more question. One more question.
Okay.
Where do I find someone like that again? Do they exist?
They're all over the place. Now, somebody like that she's not unique. It's just the connection that you guys had was unique.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not always easy to find meaningful connections with people. You know, when it's just there, that vibe is there, whatever it is, it's fucking there. Like I see beautiful women all the time. And sometimes there's women that are 10 out of 10 and she doesn't really register in my head. I'm just kind of like, it's just not there. And then I'll meet other women. It doesn't really matter what they look like. And it's like, it's fucking there. Like she's the one right there.
Yeah.
So you have to find somebody that you have a connection with. You just got to be open to meeting her. You know, they're all over the place. You know, it'll hit you. There's no certain place where you meet her at though.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I had to say. Happy 1st anniversary, by the way, on the show.
Thank you.
Man, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything, man. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy.
Yeah. Have a good one.
You too. Adios. Teddy, by the way, happy 1st anniversary. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. We had another caller and they have dumped off. So what the heck happened? Guys, if there was any questions in the chat, I missed a lot of them. We were having conversations there, and for a little while I wasn't paying attention. So now would be a good time to ask your question while we're in between callers. 2 nickels are worth more than 1 dime. I disagree. I would rather have 1 dime. Happy 1st anniversary, Brett. Thank you, Brett Overman. Yeah, it's been a fun time. Been a great time. I always enjoy doing it. All right. Trying to go back and see questions that I missed. I know there were some. What's your body fat? You look 12 or 13-ish. I have no idea. I don't care. I'm looking pretty lean and I'm lifting pretty heavy. I know there was some questions. I don't know what happened to them though. All right. Well, if you have any questions, you're going to have to re-ask them. Marlon White, how do you avoid these succubus type women? Well, you got to meet a woman that you have a connection with. When you have a connection, then it's meaningful. It matters. And women that you have no connection with that are still pursuing you just for reasons like just sex and money and things like that. These are the type of women that are, you know, they're just going to bring you headaches. They're not going to bring you anything good. You just got to learn how to filter them. If there's not a genuine connection there, stay away from her. Black Savant. Do you think the topic of the show is why some women break up and try to come back? I've seen women split and say, I assumed we'd get back together. I just made a video on that today on my main channel. So a lot of times I'll just kind of go over the video real quick. You will come across 3 different types of people in the dating market. Now, person number 1 is somebody who is emotionally and psychologically fit and healthy. These are the types of people you don't have to play any games. You know, you meet somebody, you have a connection with this person, and you're ready to move forward with this person. And if they're a healthy, psychologically and emotionally healthy person, they will be ready to move forward as well. And it just goes naturally. That's person number one. If you meet one of these people, consider yourself lucky, because in this day and age, there's not too many of those anymore. Now, person number two is, and women are more likely to be person number two, but some dudes are like this too. So you might be like this. It can go either way. But this is somebody who you meet, you have a connection with. The vibe is definitely there. And you get together, you develop this connection, and you've hooked each other in. But this person pulls back. Women do this more than men, like I said. So you meet a woman, you have a connection. It seems like, okay, it's time to take that leap forward. It's time to progress this into a serious relationship. And she pulls back. But when she pulls back, she still has her hook in you. So the connection's still there when she pulls back. Now, from my experience, women do this when they have an emotional wall built up and you don't know what she's been through or what's happened in her life. Maybe she was abused. Maybe she's had her heart broken. Maybe something has happened in her life that causes her that when she's afraid of her own emotions. Let's put it like this. You are committed to a relationship. You're committed to her. She is committed to staying safe, but wants to maintain the emotional connection to you. So she hooks you in emotionally and then pulls back. Now, when a woman does this, or if you're a woman, when a man does this, you have to make the decision. Do you want to have the patience to deal with this? Because they still have the connection. It's still there. They're just pulling back. And as I explained in my video, it's kind of like a stray cat. If you have a mentally and emotionally healthy stray cat and you're sitting there eating food in your yard and your front porch, the cat will walk up to you and meow at you and beg for food. You feed it, and now it is yours. The cat sticks around forever. If you have a cat that has been abused, it's been through some shit. Maybe its old owners abused it, beat the crap out of it. It's been in fights with stray animals. Everybody throws it out. Nobody wants to feed it. Nobody treats it right. This stray cat is going to have a different point of view when it looks at you. Now, you see the cat, it walks by, it looks at you. When it looks at you, that is in a weird way, that's a connection, right? The cat is making a connection with you. It's staring you directly in the eye. It sees you're eating and it wants some food. But it's scared, so it hides behind something and watches you. And after a little while, the cat decides it's going to try to take a leap forward. It's going to try to progress with this relationship, right? So the cat walks forward and stands there again. And you hold the food out. You say, "Come here, I've got food for you." And the cat gets really close. You stick your hand out again, and the cat jumps back, takes 10 steps back. And you're patiently waiting. You calmly sit there. You wait. Eventually, the cat finally has enough trust in you to let its guard down and come and get the food. And then throughout time, the cat will actually be healed of its anxiety. The guard will be down. This cat can actually be domesticated. And there's really not much of a difference between this abused and battered cat and a cat that has a healthy physical and emotional life, mindset, personality. But women, a lot of times, the same way. Dudes can be like this too. If you're a sensitive dude, and a lot of women deal with guys like this too. So again, you meet this woman, you have a connection. It's clearly there, but she pulls back. She puts the guard up. So are you patient enough to sit back and maintain that connection, even though it makes you miserable? Because she's not ready to move forward. And you're like, what are we doing here? Why are we wasting time? If you have the patience and you see this as somebody that you think is worth it, then you can, go through with it. Don't necessarily pursue, but be persistent and be there. Be present without pursuing, I should say. That's how that would work. But that's what happens when a woman pulls back. Now, person number 3 is similar to person number 2, but it's different because this person pulls back, keeps their hooks in you, and then comes back. And just when you think, okay, wow, they're back. This is amazing. I'm so glad it's working out. This was worth the wait. They give you just enough comfort to keep you hooked in, then they pull back again. And it's hot and cold. So what they do is they get you excited in the hot phase. This is a hot and cold player playing hot and cold games. They get you excited and they get you attached in the hot phase. The hot phase may last 1 day, might last 2 days. But then they pull back and they go into a cold phase. Could be for 2 weeks, could be a month. They go into this cold phase and you're like, what in the heck happened? You're miserable, you're heartbroken. They maybe send you a text just to try to keep you hooked in. And just when you're like, okay, screw this, I'm done, I'm moving on, they come back into your life. They come right back. And you say, well, what in the world is going on here? Because sometimes women pull away because they have walls built up, but eventually the wall goes down and you have a great relationship and it was worth it. But in this situation, they just keep you trapped in this perpetual cycle where they go hot for a couple of days and they pull away, they go cold. Why are they doing this? She's not seeing anybody else. Why is she doing this constantly? What's going on? And the reason why this happens is because she knows the second she holds still, or if you're a woman and a dude's doing this, God forbid, if a dude's doing this, or let's just go with the woman. If a woman's doing this to you, she knows the minute she stands still, you are going to see who she really is. And I don't mean to be mean, but that is who she really is. That hot and cold game is who she really is. She's somebody that starts things she doesn't finish. She's somebody that says she's going to, she's going to progress her life in this direction, but she never does it. She just constantly does these things. And the reason why she can't commit to things is because she doesn't believe in herself. She believes that if she commits to you, you're going to see who she really is and you're going to leave her. There's just an insecurity. It's just this fear of abandonment that she just has going on inside of her. And she can get over this. It doesn't make her a bad person. It just means she has this. And you can't fix her. There is nothing, you can try to fix her, but it's just going to push her away and push her into that cold phase. So there's no point in trying. The only way she can overcome this is to actually be comfortable moving forward. She has to get through it. And, it amazes me. It fucking blows my mind every time, because when you see, like, let's say you have a friend that is doing this to somebody, or you see a friend going through this, you just look at the other person and you say, you guys are so happy together. What are you doing? Progress and move forward. Just tell this person you love them. Stop playing this game. But they can't do it. And you can't teach them to do it. You can't tell them to do it. This is just what they do. So they have to find it within themselves to take that leap forward and make it happen, because everybody desires these type of connections. Even the hot and cold player that's unable to get close enough to somebody to actually have this connection. They want that, but they're unable to do it because they think as soon as they get close enough to actually make that real meaningful connection, the person's going to leave them and break their heart. But they got to get through it. So, do you think the topic of the show is why some women break up and try to come back? I've seen women split and say, I assumed we'd get back together. Yes, I do think that's why they say that. All right. What did I miss here? Do you agree that the more promiscuous people are, the lower their standards are? Typically, yes, because when you become addicted to sex and sexual attention and hooking up all the time, then You need to satisfy your addiction. If you were addicted to a drug of sorts, sure, you would prefer the best quality of that drug. But when the best quality isn't around, you'll take whatever you can get because the addiction is stronger than the standards. So, yeah. Q, what do you think of women that never initiate conversation with you? Should you initiate conversation with them? A lot of women are shy. So it depends. If she is giving you zero signals and she's not talking to you, it's very possible she's repulsed by you and she doesn't want to speak to you at all. And that doesn't mean that you're unattractive. It just means she's not attracted to you. But if she's giving you signals, if like you catch her looking at you all the time and she's kind of showing her cards a little bit, but she's not talking, she might just be too shy. And you should know where you're at. If you're a guy that women generally find attractive and women are being quiet around you, then you should know by now. Like, you'll know. All right. LDU. That happened to me before in college. I was patient and then got screwed. The bitch ended up cuffing my older. Oh, that sucks. All right. We got this spam bot in here again. Is this the first time we've seen spam come into the chat? Yeah. Yep. They've been going pretty hard today. Israel Country Cube. These ads are stupid. I hate it because I'm trying not to do you know the thing. Joe Biden applies perfectly because I'm trying to do you know the thing. Yeah. Haters gonna hate. All right. Okay, but how can you find really mature girls? I've had silly tarts in short term, but even the short term was hell. They're all over, man. If a woman wants something serious with you, she will be mature. She'll be what you need her to be. Happy channel anniversary. Thank you very much, Vivian. The power of the now. I don't think I've read that. So anyways, I'm about to go to the gym and I have a question. Since I, Amir, ask a question and I haven't slept in over 24 hours. Yeah, I know nothing to brag about, but I am brain dead and depressed. Try retention, man. It might pick you up. Might keep you going. Do you think a girl who loses attraction for a guy and like the same guy again? Of course. You know, if you go X amount of time without seeing a chick and you are a different dude whenever you see her again, the attraction might be a lot higher. All right. Did anybody see a wandering doc in the house? Good to see you, sir. Did anybody see the clip of Biden falling off the bicycle? Yes, it was real. Kind of sad. Like, to be honest, I'm not huge on the politics. Don't really care, but it's kind of sad that that's our president. All right. Are you asking if it's okay to flirt with girls at the gym because you've seen too many videos of guys getting like reported for doing that? If a woman finds you attractive, she is never going to report you. The gym is the same as the workplace. Sure, every workplace has a policy that you can't sexually harass people, right? But if you are a woman's type, let's say she likes men that are tall, dark, and handsome, and you're tall, dark, and handsome, and you smack her on the ass and say, "What are you doing after work, baby?" She's going to view you as alpha and confident and aggressive, and you go after what you want. But if you are short, balding, and ugly, and overweight, and you smack her on the ass and you say, "What are you doing after work, baby?" you're going to get reported. So you make the pick, pal. Which guy are you? Which guy are you to her? What do you think about recommendations? If you tell a girl to recommend you to her friend, do you think this will be better in the long term? That will help you. Okay, that's like same thing as like approaching a woman or hooking up on a dating app. That is opening up a door. But you can open up 1,000 doors in the house of whores. And if there is no connection there, that door will eventually close. All right. LFA, how do you deal with narcissistic women? Well, you test them. You test them. You find out, because you're not going to know if they're narcissistic right off the bat. So what you're going to want to do is, if you start to see tendencies like they play the victim all the time, well, you're going to want to hold them accountable. Hold them accountable for something that they play the victim for, and say, well, maybe you should look yourself in the mirror and prevent this in the future. And if they absolutely refuse to accept responsibility of things, they're always the victim and the world revolves around them, then you don't deal with them. That's what you do. But if you start to see tendencies, you test them, give them enough space to be themselves and find out who they really are. Tell them some secrets that aren't super secret and find out if they tell other people. Find out if it's a person you can trust, things like that. You should make an LFA clips channel and just have that clip on there. Yeah, we should. Guys watching, do the thumbs up thing. Let go. I agree, man. I agree. You. Any new goals in life or big plans for the summer? I always have goals churning. I don't necessarily speak about them, but they're always going on. Big plans for the summer. I'm probably going to go back to my hometown and visit some family for a little while. It'll probably just be a week or so. Might take a week off of YouTube if I do that, but not really. Nothing major. Flying under the radar. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions. Davy Jones was supposed to call in, but he's not here. Must be busy. Safe flight. I'll probably drive. Yeah. Well, guys, if there's no more questions, no more calls. Oh, wait. Another question. LFA, do you have any siblings? I'm sure you've talked about this before. I have 2 sisters. One, we have the same mom and same dad. And one, my dad got another lady pregnant. He was pretty alpha, bro. And that other sister lives in Denver. LFA, did you notice the longer you retain, you can last longer with a woman? LFA, did you notice the longer you retain, you can last longer with a woman without ejaculation? Actually, the longer I retain, the quicker I am to bust if I don't have lots of discipline. So this is the ultimate form of discipline. When you're retaining, you're going to be ultra sensitive. So being able to last when you're retaining is even more discipline and even more challenge. Very hard to do, to have that level of self-control. I don't know about your next question. That's a little too far. A little too much information. I know, it's nice to talk about retention, but when we're talking about semen and ejaculatory ducts, we're taking it a little too far. We don't need to do that. We'll keep it simple. Dudes do this stuff as a standard because of dating advice. I agree. I don't know if there's a book that will like help you be more active. I think that's more of a mindset. I'd say any book that gets you amped up and pumped up and motivated would work. I don't really have any book to recommend, but I'm sure, whatever it is that motivates you. I've noticed the longest stint with retention had my anger through the roof. Is that typical? Think of it kind of like steroids. So if you're a nice guy on steroids, you're still going to, or if you're a nice guy as a natural, you're still going to be a nice guy on steroids. You're just going to be more aggressive, more confident. It amplifies who you are. So if you have anger issues and you do retention, your anger issues are going to be even higher. You could collaborate with anyone. Who would you pick? Let's see. My top 5 would be the Hodge twins, Jesse Lee Peterson, Andrew Tate, Alex W.W. East Mulberry Street Jones, and I don't know. When I keep that 5th spot available, we'll see. Things aren't looking good for average men video. Yeah, that was a classic, man. Yes. CGA, I think CGA is okay. Like I've watched his videos and it doesn't, I mean, he's got okay content, but he's kind of in that same group with like Better Bachelor. I don't think it's authentic. Like, I don't mean that as disrespect. I think they're running successful channels. I think they are doing a good job at creating content that their audience likes, and that's what they do for a living. So that's perfectly fine. But I don't see them as people that you learn from or people that have something original or exciting. I just think they understand the lane that they're in and the grift they have to use in that lane. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but I don't really have a high interest in collaborating with them. LFA should hook you with Michaela Peterson. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Michaela Peterson seems good. Jordan Peterson, her dad, would be the 5th guy. Put him in there. Joe Rogan, too. Hodge twins making all kinds of gains. Yes, yes. Q, what do you think of Noah Revoy? Would you collab? I don't know anything about him. Let's Noah Revoy. Let me look him up really quick. Noah Revoy. Oh, I don't know anything about him. Well, he's with the 21 convention, and when I started making the semen retention videos, I think they got pretty like the 21 convention didn't like it for whatever reason, because I guess they have a lot of dating coaches on their panel, so the semen retention it kind of goes against their stuff. So they came after me. I was very surprised. Like I actually watched 21.
Boom, baby. Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? Can you can you guys see me? Hello. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Well, something happened, guys. It's about 105 degrees here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I have my air conditioning blasting. I've got all these electronics on in here, all this lighting and shit. I believe that my power had went out just for a second, and that caused my internet to go off. So here we are now, on the cell phone and all this shit. But we're going to get this shit working again. Give me just a little while here, and we'll see what we can do. Shouldn't take too long for the internet to come back on. Anyways, let's see if we've got questions in the chat here. Surely there's some. What in the world happened? Random 7-Eleven pick. Yeah, they got me, man. Oh, we got CSS Element in the house. Holy shit, we've got people here. All right, what do we got going on? All right. Oh, boy. Any questions? What do you think about Pink Book lessons? I don't even know what that is. Can't see your eyes. All right. Well, guys, give me a minute here. We are going to try to get the computer back up and running. I'm going to get off of here for a second. Can you guys hear me, though? I'm working on this shit, and I'm not on the... Okay, yeah, I think I see it moving. We're good to go. Well, guys, if you have any questions, I can answer them, and I will be back on the screen momentarily. Give me like a few minutes here. Just waiting for this internet box to work properly. Yeah, this can only happen on the LFA show. We get a lot of screwed ups. Are you close to your sisters? No, I would like to meet my sister in Denver. Last time I saw her, she was a little toddler with a chewed up cookie in her hand, trying to hand it to me. But I would like to get to know her. I'd like to go out there and take a vacation to Denver and see what we can do there. You know, might be cool, might be fun to do. We'll see what happens. All righty then. What else do we have going on here? Oh, what the fuck was that? Do we have anybody else? Any callers? No. Would you consider debating Undead Chronic? I don't think we would actually disagree on much. Like, he may not like me and I may not like him, but in terms of the issues we discuss, we probably agree on like 99% of all topics. So I don't really see a reason to debate. Any books you recommend for progressing as a man? 48 Laws of Power and The Rational Male. Would you consider writing a book? I would consider writing a book. But it's just not something that I'm passionate about, you could say, at the moment. So I'm not really that, it's not something I'm like fucking concerned with doing. It's not like high on a priority list. Quality Puniti. See, that's kind of why I don't like his content. Like, I don't know him as a person, but I don't like the content because I kind of think he I just find it corny. Like saying things like puniti. It's like if I was like 15 or 16 years old, yeah. But you know, I don't find his content to be appealing. That's all. Do you think outside Western nations dating and relationships is easier? If yes, which is better? I have no problem dating in the United States. So I'm perfectly fine staying in the United States, and you know, that's that. But it might be better in other places. I don't know. All right. What the fuck is going on with this box out here? Anyways, since we're doing this, I guess we might as well go all the way. Are you ready to go all the way on the LFA show live? Are you ready to go all the way? Because we're about to go all the way. And I hope you guys are prepared for this. This has never happened before. I think you guys might like this. Just give me a second. We've got an idea here. We can finish this one out strong. Strong and never done before. Are you ready? What's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. It's about 100 degrees outside, so it's a perfect day for me to come out here and shoot the shit with you guys. Now, in tonight's video, I want to talk a little bit about semen retention and all the benefits that you're going to receive. But first, I got to get to your chats. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what, the only thing that would make this better would be a beer in my hand. Let's get this damn hard mode king shit off of here. We don't need that. Back to the comments. 1 year anniversary live brick wall session. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, brother. Bro, this is the best live stream watched so far. Not boring. Yeah. At least no dull moment today. You know, it's gone well. What's up, brothers? You know, every now and then I like to sit back and, you know, I just have a deep thought. You know, just the other day I walked into the gym. I seen a woman that, you know, she was pretty attractive. I'd say she's probably like a 6 out of 10. Single mom, a couple of kids. I was just looking at her from across the room, you know. And this woman looked at me, and if I could translate or reiterate the look she gave me and put it into words, she looked at me and she said, "You disgust me." And then I saw her go greet a man with a nice piece of jewelry on, gold necklace. I could tell he had some money because he had an Apple Watch on. And then I seen her leave his side, and she was talking to this young, male model looking kind of guy. You know, and I've just decided that why would I waste my time trying to impress women when 99% of women are the wrong kind of women? Well, hey guys, what I'm really trying to say is maybe it's time we buck up and go MGTOW. All right, let's see what we've got in the chat. Boom, we got to get this super chat up. Yeah, wait, hold on. Super game. Coach Chungus, here's some beer money. Happy first year anniversary. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You just on your iPhone LFA. Yeah, iPhone it is. Any ideas to meal prep? I'm going nuts prepping 9 pounds of chicken. Okay. So with meal preps, you got to figure out where your macronutrients need to be. You know, protein, fats, and carbs. And when you get there, you basically got to cook the same shit all the time, but you can just season it differently. You know, like I eat a lot of chicken, a lot of rice, and I can season it however I want to season it. I can have Mexican, I can have Indian, I can have whatever I want to have. I just season it differently. Have you thought about a small UPS for your equipment? No. Taking some black pills before I convert. All right. Well, guys, I got to be honest with you. I don't have much more time. You know. But I am glad that we got to have this talk. And with that being said, we're going to have to cut this one off. Wait, another question. I meant prepping the sheer amount of food sucks. Any ideas not make it so tedious? No. You just got to suck it up and do it. That's what it all comes down to. It comes down to sucking it up and doing it. Not being a little sissy. If you're retaining seed, you're not going to have any problems setting that shit up. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to get it done. Anyways, guys, we are losing viewers like crazy. But I'm glad we got to have this outdoor session out here. Why don't you advertise this channel on LFA? I found this by accident. I do. I advertise it all the time. I advertise this video. It just doesn't get shared. All right. Anyways, guys, it is now officially time to end this stream. So I want to thank you guys all for coming out. It's been a wonderful stream. It's been wonderful shooting the shit with you guys. And guys, that is officially all we have for tonight. So until next time, see ya.